In the 21st century, employers demand much from their incoming workforce. To equip all our students with the skills, opportunities, and experiences to create the future workforce now through career pathways.
The pathways at Palisades High School really have three components that we thought about when we created them. Number one, we wanted to take a collection of elective courses that focus on preparation in a particular career pathway or a career goal that somebody wants to achieve. We then partnered with our local businesses and our local community to get the students field experiences. The last piece of it is the networking piece. It's never too early to start creating that network of people in the field, of people that could potentially be your employers somewhere down the road.
When speaking with alumni and parents and community members, a number of our students do feel that the pathways have provided them with excellent opportunities.
So our pathways were developed so that students could have an idea of what coursework would prepare them better in that field. So it gives our students an idea as to whether or not they want to pursue that field before getting to college and spending a lot of money and realizing it wasn't something that they wanted to do. And all of these programs really are just designed to prepare a student for post-secondary training.
The pathways give us a chance to kind of talk to students a little bit more in like a rigorous way and kind of give them some more guidance on like our own personal experience at the college level of knowing what professors are looking for or knowing what are expected in certain careers. I've found local artists who create work in our community or in communities close to us, like maybe at like museums in New York City or galleries in New York City, or local potters who make the mugs for like Brigadoon Coffee House. So we find these people out within our community who like make a living doing this stuff that we do here in school, and it kind of gives you the chance to see what does this look like as like a full-time career. So what does being a production potter look like? How does that, like how do they source their clay? How do they fire their work? Or like a printmaker in New York City, what that would look like, how to get work in a gallery, how to market your work and stuff like that. It gives you the chance to kind of see these things outside of the school context as like a fine art and a career as opposed to just like an elective. It also kind of gives them like that little bit of the ability to network. So like a really good friend of mine worked on The Mandalorian as an animator, and I had him Skype in to talk to my kids about being an animator and what that's like, and it was like the coolest thing ever.
There was a multitude of different opportunities. I've not only been able to kind of extend my mediums, but I've also been chosen for a couple art shows and art competitions that I am able to participate in this year. So that's really exciting, and I can't wait to see those results. I mentioned I've definitely been able to broaden my mediums. I used to just work with a lot of ink, but now I've moved on into working with gouache and watercolor and even incorporating metallics and a bunch of other fun stuff.
It's a combination of coursework and field experiences. So in the classroom there's a set amount of courses that we like the students to take, but more importantly we connect them to the workforce.
The Palisades Business Pathway is a great opportunity for students to see what career options look like in the field. We've partnered with local businesses to explore a variety of industries and functions. And in addition to career exploration, students gain job acquisition skills by participating in mock interviews and receiving invaluable feedback.
My plan is to pursue a degree in marketing, and next month we will be traveling to Penn Community Bank to meet with their Vice President of Marketing. I'm hoping to learn about their marketing strategy and to make their brand stand out.
I'm planning to go into healthcare management, and I'm looking forward to visiting Lehigh Valley Healthcare Network to learn about a number of different career options within healthcare administration. I'd like to learn how data can be used to improve patient outcomes.
So within this pathway, students get the chance to really experience what it's like to be a teacher. So a lot of our project-based learning is creating your own lesson plans and delivering them to your peers, especially peers who are instructed to kind of act out or not necessarily understand things the first time. Students also have the opportunity to do observations at other schools within their interest areas.
So education has always been the career that I wanted to go in ever since I started in middle school. And when I found out the high school offered a specific pathway for it, I was very excited to jump on the opportunity.
The education pathway gave me a lot of different opportunities to go and visit schools and actually get to shadow a teacher and give me an opportunity to actually create my own lesson plans and do that with my class.
Ever since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to be a teacher, so this was like the perfect way as a leadway into my career I want to go into.
Students also have the opportunity in class to take a seminar course, and that's the capstone course for the pathway, and that's where they'll conduct their observation hours and their job shadows, and they might be able to interview other professionals in the education field.
Seen like just incredible growth in terms of creating lessons that are engaging and creative and follow a modeling sort of framework that I think are really beneficial, and I think definitely will put them ahead when they go to college and they do seriously pursue education as their major.
The engineering career pathway it's designed two different avenues, architecture as well as engineering, and both are designed to give you a solid understanding of both those pathways. Like for example, the engineering pathway starts off with introduction to engineering, and then is followed by mechanical, and then electrical, and then on to robotics. Architectural starts with architecture 1, and then is followed by architecture 2, and is the further you go through the pathway, the better understanding you have of the curriculum and that as a career. They decide for themselves if that's a career choice that they want to pursue. The ones that have pursued it, they come back typically to thank me for giving them a solid understanding of that career choice. So sure enough, part of the pathway process is for you to get some experience out in the workforce. So we do send students out there to work with community members that are engineering based and architecture based. That way you get to shadow them, and you get also a better understanding of how this is applied to the real world.
It just opens up a lot of options, it can give you multiple different job choices eventually, down the line. People learn to work with different types of machinery within the room here.
We've had some really amazing opportunities available to students in the past in the Global Pathway. For example, we took a group of students to the United Nations to take part in a sustainability conference. We also were invited through Lehigh University, one of only 2 schools invited to attend a labor conference that the United Nations also participated in. And we've had, of course, our international experiences that we offer students of travel. We have some more local connections as well through Pro Buck International, which is a local group, and also BBRON, which is an international group.
The pathway has been pretty amazing for students. First is that they do become proficient in one language, and we highly encourage 2. A lot of students have opted to do this. We talk about global issues, so they're aware with what is going on in the world. And our pathway is cross-curricular, so we are able to differentiate based upon our students' interests. So if they want to go into marketing, we can work with our business classes. If they want to go into art, we can work with our art department. There's so many opportunities. Journalism, we work with the English department. So luckily we're able to really meet the needs of our students.
I chose to participate in the Global Career Pathway because I want a government job in the future. And I think the Global Career Pathway is a great introduction to global issues and languages as a whole. I think the Global Pathway introduces you to, again, global issues and helps your knowledge of culture, so your view isn't as narrow-minded. So if you are looking for that government job or a job as a translator, it's really going to help your communication with other people.
So the Med Career Pathways at Palisades High School is designed to expose students to, first, the classes that would be appropriate for someone heading into the medical careers, which obviously is science heavy, things like anatomy and physiology. But additionally, we try to get some other courses in other subjects that are really going to help them be prepared to take advanced degrees that will get them into medical careers.
Many times where we could talk to doctors and nurses through Zoom calls because of COVID, which were an eye-opening experience for me, as well as, for example, this Friday, I'm going to see surgery. So just things like that. Letting me kind of get an understanding of the medical pathway.
MedCareers was very helpful because it gave insight into jobs in the medical field that I didn't even know existed, and it also gave experience from the doctors, and they also helped answer questions that aspiring medical students would have. I learned about, from asking the doctors questions, how to balance like other important parts of your life with the idea of being a doctor, because it's very rigorous.
So students that are involved in the program get a lot of exposure to professionals in the field, and one of the things that they find out is what they might be interested in going forward. But almost as important, they start to figure out what they won't be interested. We've had plenty of students that have talked to, surgical nurses and realized, you know what, that's not what is for me. And I think that's important for them to understand that, and to get that realization so early is important so that they're not heading in a direction that they don't need to be.
Hi, I'm Addie. Here at Palisades, we have various educational opportunities for our students, one being the Upper Bucks Technical School. With over 20 different programs, students can focus on something from cosmetology to law enforcement. There are currently 64 students from Palisades attending the tech school. Now we're going to hear from 2 students at the tech school about their experience.
I've had a lot of job opportunities in multiple bakeries. I've had a skills competition that I've been able to compete in, which I haven't opted into, but I've had the opportunity to. I've really enjoyed it here. The environment in the classroom's really nice. There's no drama. It's super simple.
So I chose to attend the tech school program, law enforcement specifically, to pursue my education on criminal justice. Some opportunities that this program has provided for me is college courses starting from 10th grade, and some advancement in the opportunities and careers that are available for me, as in police officer or military or human intelligence.
We provide wonderful opportunities in workforce development. We highlight and promote academic, technical, and employability skills. One of my favorite quotes in career tech education is that we not only prepare students for real-world experiences, but we provide them while they're in school. Many of our students are well prepared for both college and career, and it's a wonderful place to be.
The education pathway, like many of the other pathways, has an advisory panel where we are consulting with professionals in the field, so teachers in other districts, and also professionals in early child care development at a daycare, for example, and also professors and administrators in post-secondary education opportunities like a college or university. So we're getting that feedback to ensure that our students have what they need to be successful in a post-secondary plan.
One of the most rewarding aspects of medical careers is that we've been doing this for quite a number of years, and we have alumni that have come back and talked about how important that early exposure to the medical field was in getting them to where they are. And so we've had people come back that are nurses, doctors, you name it, and they have always talked about how beneficial it was to have that early experience, and it really gave them a step up on the people that they ended up being peers with in college.
Part that's fairly new to our program is something called the advisory board. It's comprised of teachers, students, and professionals from all sorts of different businesses. We meet to discuss trends in business, things like hiring trends, technology trends, and really it's to help us keep all current what's going on in the real world.
It has engaged our local community in a different kind of way. They've helped us design these programs because we've tapped into their expertise as people in a given field as to which courses our students should be taking and why, and what will they need if they actually come and work here. So we've tapped into their expertise with program development, and it gives us an opportunity to bring our students to them, where in the past we would often be asking our community partners to come to us to help us with X, Y, or Z, but now we get a chance to take our students into their space.
Career Pathways is preparing students far beyond their next job interview. It's preparing a generation for success in life.